This is lesson 7.1. This is preparing an income statement. So now that we are done with our worksheet, we need to go and figure out how to give information to the people that need it by having just different kind of sheets that will give you an overview of what kind of happened throughout that fiscal year. So what we need to talk about here is an income statement. Again, if you have not read section 7.1 and taken notes, please pause this video now, go back, read the chapter, take notes, and come back to this lecture. Okay. For an income statement, this is what it will look like, or this is what we'll be looking at on our worksheet. But we can go to our income statement and write our heading. So again, you'll write your company name on the first line. Instead of worksheet like we did in the last chapter, now we're going to be writing income statement on line 2, and then for the month ended August 31st of the current year. Revenue, expenses, and net income sections of an income statement. This looks like a lot of information, but really you will start understanding it pretty quickly. So revenue is the first section that we have in our income statement. So we'll write that account title. Underneath would be sales, would be which is making our revenue. Okay. Then we'll write our revenue amount of $35.65 even. Okay. Then we'll go back and we'll write our expenses down. Do you see how revenue and expenses have a colon after? That is your section header. So those will go to the left, and then your titles underneath will be indented to the right. So we'll have our expenses. Remember, expenses are always alphabetical. They'll also be given to you in that order. So you'll write all your expenses down. You will now have insurance expense and supplies expense, because since we've done the worksheet and we've adjusted for those, we will have an account balance in those. We'll write down those expense amounts here. Okay. The next thing that we'll do is draw our single line underneath those expenses. That will already be done for you on the computer. Then we'll do our total expenses. That will stay the same as your account titles. Okay, you'll move over a line. These are adding columns now, so move over a line to do your total of $14.66 even, and then you'll do your net income, or sorry, do your total of expenses. You'll calculate your net income. Okay, so you write net income, record your net income of $20.99 even. Okay, and draw your double lines. Okay, again, that will be given for you. Okay. The next thing we need to do is do our component percentage analysis of an income statement. We're always trying to figure out what each is for our percentage of sales. Okay, so here's our sales number. It's already written for us. So if we take this number and divide it into our sales, which is this number, you should always have 100% here. On your component percentages, you're always going to have one decimal place. Okay, so you have 100.0. Okay. Then you'll go down to your total expenses. You'll take this number, divide it into your sales number, and you'll have 41.1%. Okay. Then we'll take our net income, divide that into our sales, because it says percentage of sales, and you'll have 58.9%. Okay. Income statement with two sources of revenue and a net loss. Okay, so if we have a business that is sectioned out into two different departments, like we have our sales for lessons and our sales for repairs, you will go ahead and write your revenue and then write both sale account titles, so sales lessons and sales repairs, and then your total revenue at the bottom. Okay, so you'll have your two revenues here, a single line, and then your total revenue here. You'll do your expenses the same as we've done before. Total expenses will go here, and then you'll take your total revenue and your total expenses. As you can see here, your total expenses are bigger than your total revenue, which is not good. We've spent too much money this month. We have not made enough to cover our expenses, so we have a net loss. A net loss will go in parentheses because it's a negative number. Okay, and then again, you can go ahead and put those percentages of net sales. Do you see how this percent of net sales is going to be negative because it's a negative number? Okay.